Right. Hi guys. I'm trying to get my head around this. If there was an easier way of zooming in and out with your phone, with a phone camera, I would do it via that. But you can't. The only other way, and I'm not even sure that I could do it with that, is the rip-off GoPro that I've got. It's one of the cheap old. Here we go. One of the cheap old Chinese efforts. I've never played around with it, to be honest, so I don't know. I've set it up now. This is a 1983 pound coin. Okay, these are all used condition. So there's nothing great about it, so I won't worry about my fingers. Now, there's a dip in this plastic. Yeah, I can see them. There's a dip in this plastic. She's making it roll. And right where you want it. Oh, that must work quite well. Right. I'm just going to try and get this light in a suitable position. It appears one of the hardest things you're going to be able to do when proving all this with the raw mint and everything else is the font. Because it seems that they use different fonts, yet in some circumstances they don't. I can't describe it any other way. You know, certain characteristics. God, stop moving. Like this E. It seems to be the ends. Where's me? Oh, for G's sake. There it is. If you look at the ends on these, like the E, they're very elongated, whereas the normal E is not. That's not a very good magnification, is it? There you go, that's a lot better. It's still the same size, so I may be getting this wrong. This one is shorter than that one in length because of the angle. Okay, this one's much longer. It's because it's slanted so that it will go over the reed. That's what it's meant to do. But you can see that it doesn't really matter much because it's still as crap. Unless you've got a bold leg, which everything comes off of, such as the N. Let's look at that. But what I'm going to try and do is, hang on, let me get my eyeglass. 1992, 1996, 2008. So we've got two in the 2010, 2008. So we got two in the 90s, 4 years apart. Let's try that. these all seem to be it you know, it's annoying. It really is annoying. It's frustrating. The principles of fake coins is really quite a lot is based on the outer edge of what we're seeing now. And they say the positioning of the text should be center. So what I'm going to do now, this is really not good for someone with poor eyesight, let me tell you that. Alright, this is upside down for a start off. Right, let's get this sorted. ET. Yeah, it's right. The text is as it's supposed to be. But are they fakes? No, they're not. These are not fakes. So it tells you that it's all a load of rubbish. You know? Let's try and get a earlier coin. And this is the problem you've got. With the magnifier, you've got such a small leeway. Unless you lift the... Which I can do because we're not going to be using that for a minute. So, let's go to the old block. Oh, the only thing is you're not going to be able to see the wording. Jeez sake. You really need, as far as I'm concerned, to do this properly, you need a camera that you can easily focus in and out to get this all in one frame. But of course, a camera does not magnify to the degree where you can see the lettering like this, which is paramount. And even then, you're at loss because there's nowhere that I have seen so far on the net is to what font is used on what coins. It's more important with like the special coins because they're all different. You know, the writing, the inscription is different, so that's always changing. So it's hard to keep a track as to whether they're using the same font or not. All this fandangled information they give you on sites like the one that I use, which I think is the best, but is now proving to be not so the case because they're not even providing you with pictures from the Royal Mint. They're going to other places now. I'm wondering if this is all changed. I'm wondering if the Royal Mint's laid the law down because the Royal Mint website is diabolical. It's actually, it seems like most websites to be geared up to be against you, to be awkward, to find information. I mean, the Royal Mint website, you can go round and round in circles, try to get the information that you need. But taking these two coins together, it's difficult. It really is difficult because these are in such used condition. I mean, the E on the top one to the E on the bottom one. Come on. If you look immediately, you can see vast differences. The T's look okay. I'm just trying to work out. There's no reason why that should be coming out like that. Why that should be so dark. It's as if the light is not uniform on the micro. Why do I keep saying micro? Magnifier. What you need is natural light, sunlight. What you need is a conservatory, so that you can sit in a conservatory. You've got natural light, and that would put all this to an end. But when you're using artificial light, it's a joke. I mean, just look at those two T's. How different they are. And like I say, oh, there you go. Look, that's better. But you watch. I let them go, and they'll roll. No, they don't. There you go. That's better. Now stay together. There. This is the trouble. Is you see your window is only 2 coins wide. So, oh, here we go. So this is telling me that it's not different. So what you'd have to do is to find all the coins with the same inscription. Now, are they all the same? I would imagine they must be. Oh, these coins, they roll so blooming. Look at that, look. No, you don't, you can't see it. Right, so you've seen those at twos. Let's try and see these. Right, that one we got. Where's this one? It's crazy, you know? Let's try looking at the E2, the Et2. Where is it? There. Oh, for God's sake. Sorry. Right. There's one, there's two. Do you see there's a vast difference? Now, is that a change of font, or is that just diabolical striking? They are completely different. So what I'm erring on here, one is off center to the bottom, which is the top coin there, and has a completely different font or a completely different strike to the bottom one. Now, how are you supposed to know without this magnifier what those fonts are supposed to look like? So immediately your task is set up against you, because the bottom coin is off center to the top, and it's vastly different. So if this is the case, each time you want to question anything about a coin with regard to the inscription, you've got to have, because they don't show it anywhere online, you need multiple coins to seek and test what's what. Because at present, in all the time that I've been doing this anyway, and this is the first time I've come across this it's not just that, is it? It's from when it starts to when it's still going now, this inscription malarkey with the coins. And it's such a shame that what I'm going to try and do here is show you. It means moving it in and out. Right. So there are two there. It's a real pain in the arse. I've got 4 coins here. I'm trying to hold and turn, and it's nigh impossible. And you wouldn't be able to do this with gloves, I can assure you. What you want is a clamp. That's what you want. And then you've got to start getting things to clamp something soft so that it doesn't do your coins in. And they're, and so forth. Right, those two at the top are the same. Exactly the same. Okay. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. You definitely need a clamp of some sort. Because as soon as you move away with this magnifier, it's too acute. See what I mean? So this is where you have problems with pros and cons of a magnifier. The change there is vastly different to the top 3. So you see that it's a bit of a royal pain in the butt. I think it's just the striking, to be honest. I don't think it is a change of font. I think it is just the striking. But that's no good for you to take as proof of what's going on. So the bottom coin is most definitely the worst. But all these, they're all offset. Oh, that one maybe not. The top one's not so bad for the centre. It's off centre to the bottom. That one, the next one down is off centre to the top. That's off centre to the bottom. That's off centre to the top. But because the strike is not consistent, this is where you're getting all this stuff, all these errors. I mean, that you can't, that one there, you cannot fault is off centre. So I'll take these out of the way now. Let's do this last one. There is another one here. The one, that's the other thing. The one thing that is good is all the crosses are perfect. There is not one so far that I've come across, including the 2 videos prior to this one, where the cross is diabolical, like you get with the £2. £2 is consistently diabolical, leaving you with what do you class in judgment to seeking out if it's a fake or not. And this is what I've come to conclusion, especially with these now. Let me where's the cross on this one? There. And that's because of the light. No, there you go. That's just taking my words out of my sales. There's your first dodgy cross. Now that's like the £2. That is just like the £2. Did you see the top and bottom bars? They don't match. They don't match. That one's way off of that. So this is why they try to angle it so that these bars don't fall into the ridges of the reading, because that's what's exactly happened there. But look at the real difference in the size of these end arms and how bad they are. So I'm just trying to alter the right. Okay, so now let's try and get I was around the wrong bloody way. That's the first dodgy cross, and I'm just saying that it proves me wrong. I can't believe it. So is that a fake? It's off centre. But the trouble is, when you've got all these different coins not being the same to the year, what can you do? I'm most certainly not going to go around buying coins to prove that point. No way. Oh no, this is just a nightmare. I'm sorry, guys. This is really just a nightmare. So it's definitely the bottom one that's iffy. Where's the cross on this one? Oh, and I wish I had better eyesight. I wish I was young. Because even with my glasses, my eyes are getting really bad. And your problem's going to be, even if you take this up to task, right, so we've got 5 crosses here. There's the first one. Dead centre. Perfect, okay? There's your next one down. And the trouble is, I know full well that the the real difference in magnification is critical when you're comparing coins. I'm beginning to get very tired of this, to be honest. Because there is no consistent way that you can do this. See that? Now the top one to the third one down are very similar. Yeah. But that fourth one down is diabolical. So to me, what I'm going to do now is do the weight. Trouble is, I can't show you that because you can't do it with the magnifier. So you've got to swap to another camera. Right. 945 is the first one. The one that we think could be a fake, which is this one now, it's fluctuating. It's sat now at 946, which is 4 out, 0.04 out below. So if we were talking about fakes, that one is a fake. Oh, and this one's even worse. This is 943. The third coin down is 943, 0.7 out. Oh my lord. So that's a fake. What was this first one? Let's have a look. I just want to do this. 949, so that's good. The first one's good. The second one, 9.63. That's 13 over. 0.13 over. So that's a fake. Last coin, but least. 956. 956, so that's over. So out of all those coins, only one. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Ah, now there's. I don't know what that had done there. I don't know. It had taken a different reading. Right, so that's okay. That's 948. That's within my tolerance. No, that's 9.42, so that's 8 out. These are reading all different. These are reading all different. These are all reading different each time I weigh them. This is 960 now, so that's 10 over. The last one. $942, that's 8 under. $950, spot on. So let's do these bottom two again. No, they are reading correct. They are, because that one's 0.9 under. You've got to give... That's 0.10 over. It's settled now at 959. So one's 9 under and one's 9 over. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Turn it off. Give it time to settle down. Right, let's do this again. No, I'm right. It's turning it off, turning it on, giving it time to settle. So this is the left coin, is 9 under. Okay. The right coin should be over. Yeah, over. Oh, did you know, that had me worried then. I thought, don't tell me my scales have been off. They are finicky. I've got to say, sometimes they're finicky. They will fluctuate between 1 and 2, 0.01 and 0.02, and it can be either side of what you want it. The top 3 are, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to push those 2 out of the way. We know what they are. Let's do this again. See if these all read properly. No, they're not. It's these top. See, 947. That's to the limit of being wrong. Let's do this again. 945. Spot on. So they seem to be okay. The top 3 are within the parameters, and the bottom 2 are not. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. Let's do the 3 at the 2 at the bottom. Now that's a beautiful cross. That's a beautiful cross. You cannot get better than that. You really cannot get better than that. And as they say, when you're regarding these to fakes, that just cannot possibly be a fake. Yeah, it's out of parameters in weight. Now the other one should be that crazy cross. Get it around the right way first. No, that's okay. The surrounding area whereby you see that gold on these, I'm not gonna include that as for 40, if you see what I mean, because the light is making it so different. I'm just taking by principle that it's got a cross there, it's got a cross there, and a cross there, and that one's dead straight. I'm classifying that as a good cross, which most of these coins. Now I'm going to the top 3. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. If you try doing this with a glove and compare them, that's the top one is that's the worst. That is the worst. But I mean, it's a shame because you can see quite clearly that the downward strokes are falling into the reeds. See, that one has, and that one most definitely. So these two definitely have. That one's not too bad, but the bottom one, whichever one you want to say, one of them's out. So I would have to say that is the fake. I'd have no choice. But I know full well that that is not because being a fake. It's just simply because it's fallen into the reed. I'd like the groove. The groove of the reed. That's it. The groove of the reed. The top has fallen into a completely different groove to the bottom. Both of them are in completely different grooves. The same as the top right cross on the arms are exactly the same. Where they come down into the grooves, they're not straight. So that you'd have to definitely class as a fake. Definitely. If it's so critical to um, their meaning of a fake. And to be honest, the more that I go through these coins, the more I'm beginning to think it's all a load of baloney. I think Royal Mint came out with this to make it easier for them to say that they're fakes. See, that's perfect. That's perfect. See, it's gone. They've all gone over, or they're in the grooves. And thinking about that logically, like that, guys, a machine that is striking a coin in this manner cannot lie, can it? It's got to do the strike, but it's not got something that's guaranteed to be dead still in the die. Does that make sense? We don't. If we, I don't know how the striking takes place, but if there is this great emphasis on the cross, which and it is it's one of the most defining points because it is the hardest to strike. So they admit that. The same as they never put them in the same order. When you go on websites, it's never in the same order. There's no set preference when you're reading about fakes. It's just a generalisation because all this off centre with the inscription, which most of these are. So as you go down each one, you will convince yourself, like I have, we got to this point whereby you think they are all different in font, and I don't think they are. I really don't think they are. I think this is all just pie in the sky crap. I really do. And unless you're in the know, um, it is totally impossible for someone like me who's trying to look into this. I you know, I don't normally do this, but I'm erring on the side of um, all that information about the 1997 and 1998 technology coins was a dummy. Was a dummy. I think they picked a criteria that they know was repetitively wrong. Whoever these experts were or whatever that sorted these out, I think they just said, well, look, these are the most common faults that we've got. If they're not right, they must be fakes. And I think that is a major, major error. I just really wish now that I hadn't spent all those £2 coins. Because that would prove my point. The only thing is, I did do those ones, the videos, and I may now have to revisit those posts. I don't think I've got any choice really, but I don't think these are all different fonts. I really don't. So if you question the Royal Mint, and they're going to be thinking, well, why is he asking that? Why is he asking that question? It's pretty damned obvious, isn't it? If the questions I'm asking about the criteria, is going to give them the answer that they're looking for, from why I would be inquiring. And I'm afraid to say, guys, my conclusion is, for what it's worth, the majority of these £1 coins are good, depending on what part of the criteria you're looking at. If you're looking at the offsetting of a central text around the edge, then you're going to struggle. You're really going to struggle. You're really going to struggle. So, actually, now, if you consider everything we've just decided or just said, if the crosses are the most hardest thing to reproduce, and then we take it to its next criteria, depending on how you've listed them, is the central text should be centre in the coin around the edge, and we know that that is blatantly wrong. So what I'm going to do is I've I've got all the no, I'm not going to do muck about with those because well, those two are good, I think. Yeah, it is. Those two are good. Right. So now what I can do is the method of what that guy said to me. Yes, this is the way to go forward. Unfortunately, um, um, I can't do it there because I'm going to bore you to tears. But what I need to do I can't remember. Oh, can you remember what the criteria were? It was the cross, the text, the weight. I mean, the weight alone on these 5 that I've just shown you. There's only 3 that are within the tolerance. Two are way out. And the 2 that are way out are of the same design. So let me just turn this down. Yeah. There's another one. Hang on in. So let's do this. See what I mean? Because these coins are all different designs. That's where they've got you. That is where they've got you. And I reckon that's what this is all about. I reckon that's what this is all about. So hang on a minute. My poor old fingers. What I want to do is I want to separate the really shiny coins that I know are BU, if not proof. And there's only a few, so that's good. Right, hang on. I've got to go. I'll come back.